I was praying and I believed that you would protect me. And he hears back, well, I let you know through the news that a storm was coming. I sent a boat, and then I sent a helicopter. What more do you want from me? God is already giving you the things that you need. And sometimes we're just really good at tripping over our own feet. We get in our own way more often than not. Do you need to be rescued from your own choices? You see, unlike Mary and Joseph and Jesus, sometimes we find ourselves in trouble because of our own choices. And I say sometimes, I would say more often than not, just from my own experience, looking back at my life, at the things that I have done, some of the most pain in my life, it was my fault. It was my fault. We are all sinful. There is no getting around that. We are all sinners. We are prone to doing things that hurt ourselves and hurt others. But God can save us from that too. So whatever it is that you need to be rescued from, I wonder, man, what is God inviting you to do to participate in your own rescue? God's ready to rescue it like we already established. He's ready. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to choose to make a change in your behavior? Here a couple of months ago, we were talking about, man, when you're sorry about something and you go to somebody and you say you're truly sorry, you know how you know you're truly sorry? After you say you're sorry, you have a change of behavior. Otherwise, it's just words. Do you need to ask somebody for help? Do you need to remove yourself from situations or relationships that are not helping you? Man, dude, one of the biggest things for me, when I was in high school and then after that when I was in college, I learned if I put myself into situations where I could potentially make a bad decisions, guess what? Sometimes I would make a bad decision. It's really hard to make a bad decision if you're not even there. You don't even have an opportunity. Just don't even put yourself in that situation. I tell people all the time, if you have to go up to somebody and say, hey, it's not what it looks like, you probably shouldn't have been in that situation in the first place. Could you help somebody else who needs to be rescued? You and I are not angels. We're not angels, that's it. We're not angels, but that doesn't mean we can't do for others what the angel did for Mary and Joseph on that very first Christmas. There are going to be opportunities in our lives where we have the ability to step in and help someone else. So maybe God's inviting you to comfort or encourage someone else who needs hope. Maybe you know somebody who's going through something really tough. Maybe they're sitting right next to you. Maybe they're not. Maybe you can provide food or shelter or clothing for someone that is in need, just like what we did for the Nickel Family Toy Drive. That's why we push this stuff so hard. It's not to make us feel better about ourselves. It's because we can have a real impact on the people around us, on the community around us. And honestly, it doesn't take that much effort from us to do that. Give somebody 5 minutes of your time. Man, see what type of difference you can make in somebody else's life just by giving them 5 minutes. Reach out to somebody who you know is struggling. Sometimes you need to be the person who says the uncomfortable thing to your friend who needs to hear something from you. Commit to praying for someone who is struggling or grieving. There are some situations in my life right now where by me walking up to somebody, it's not going to make any difference. I can say, hey man, here's something I've noticed, and they're just going to be like, what are you talking to me for? But that doesn't stop me from praying for them or their situation. There's something that we can do practically for pretty much anybody around us. And we're all called to do this. Some of us may need God to help us step away from our own destructive choices. Others of us may be in need because we found ourselves in a situation that, if we're being totally honest with ourselves, it's out of my control. It's out of my control. Whatever that looks like for you. I've talked to people in the past who feel like, man, I feel like my parents divorcing is my fault. No, it's not. You're a child. Don't put that on you. We got so many things that happen in our lives. And this Christmas, no matter what you are experiencing, I hope you walk out of here knowing how clear it is about Christmas, that it's not just merry and bright and it's always sunshine and rainbows and nothing bad can ever happen because it's the Christmas season. But I want you to know this. From week one, we talked about how